It's time to let it flow. It's time to let it flow. Yeah, it's time to let it flow. Yeah, it's time to let it flow. It's time to let it flow. What's poppin'? Welcome to the next episode of Let It Flow. Before we get started, I want to give a special thanks to Atlanta Comedy Theater for sponsoring the first date for the Let It Flow tour. So I got a special guest today, Pash. Perry, did I pause enough?
Yeah, you did good. Yeah, because you got to get the, kind of like when you show up fashionably late, you got to get that dramatic entrance of like a...
It's Pash Perry.
Yeah. Kind of like a game show. If I was like a special celebrity guest, like, ooh. Yeah.
So how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing good. Have you done a podcast before?
Yeah, I've done a few out there on the social media network.
Okay. So where are you from?
I'm from the DMV, so like DC, Maryland area.
Okay. How long you been here?
I've been here since 2021, and I think coming here post-COVID was definitely kind of a little different. And I lived in Dallas for a few months before I moved here too.
Okay.
So that was fun.
You like it better here?
No.
Really?
No.
Why?
I like being by the water. I love being by the water.
What water were you by? The lake?
I was by like the Chesapeake Bay and like the Atlantic Ocean and all of that. So
okay. So
yeah, I live like DC is like DC.
Oh,
is
you
like,
was in DC.
Yeah,
okay.
like I live like probably like 25 minutes from like going right there and seeing all the water and stuff. I like
cold water.
within like 15 to 25 minutes, I can go to any type of like little shore because it's all connected because we're like surrounded by it on that whole part.
You could probably go to the beach for 1 month a year. Because it's cold, right?
No.
Okay, it doesn't get as cold there.
I mean, it gets cold, but like we have regular summer. It's kind of like here almost. Here is just kind of more humid. And then I love seafood. Like seafood is so disgusting here. They always be trying to do new stuff. Like I just need you to steam them, put some Old Bay on them, give me some regular butter on the side, and we good.
What they do that's too much? Like too much seasoning?
They be like deep frying them in like Hennessy and stuff, and they be giving me like garlic parmesan butter. Like, oh my god, like you really all you gotta do is throw a stick of butter in the microwave, put it in a salsa, I'm good to go. Like that's it. Like you gotta do too much, and then it's just not fresh here because what they got lakes. They don't really got any oceans that have like blue crabs or like soft shit. Like it's disgusting.
That's a good point.
And I miss being by the water. I miss seeing water.
Yeah, I'm from Tampa, so I definitely know what you mean.
Yeah, like I just miss it. It's too much. It's too many trees. Like I need to see sun. There's just so much shade. Like I feel like I'm in a horror movie every time I ride a back road at night. Like it's just too much. I need to be able to. Oh, stars. Oh, sun, clouds.
Right.
Yeah.
So what got you into content creation?
The universe. Because I feel like when I first started in this game, like when I was a teenager, I was really like a background person, more of like a manager type. And then I got somehow thrown into it. And then I just kept moving with it. And I started spending on it because I like it. It makes me happy. Like when I go on sets and when I do stuff and I do like, and especially when we know when people go viral, when people believe it makes me, happy that I'm doing my job well. So I just kind of keep getting thrown into stuff. Same thing with YouTube. People keep asking me like how I did. And I'm like, I don't know. Something just kind of happened one day. But now I'm going to keep doing it because I like it. I like the track. Like, I like it. But, I would say the universe just want me to do it. They keep, being like, here. You keep waiting. You keep saying, oh, I need the platform here. All right, do it. And then they find it along the way. It's fun.
I see the views are coming.
Yeah, it's been fun finding it along the way because I've been building things that I've always wanted to do and building the things that were kind of just like, okay, you said you needed this, here, then do it. So it's fun. It's fun
when it comes to like manifesting, like, it's not just about, oh, I manifested and it's going to come. It's a lot of work behind it.
Yeah, it definitely is a lot of work behind it. Because it wasn't just like randomly one day I made a YouTube account and then I posted a video and did it. It wasn't that. Like I was, I had YouTube. I had already like maybe like 200 subscribers, I guess, because I was posting my acting reels on it. Like, just like little reels, little sides and stuff like that. But one day, I just so happened to post a skit that I usually post on Instagram and that one started getting traction and now. So it wasn't like I wasn't sitting there actively, like, still focusing on it, still putting stuff that other people can tune into for something that I was already doing or trying to achieve.
One thing I suggest is Everything everywhere.
Just moved us
Now
to.
you good. But I definitely suggest posting everything everywhere. Hold on, let me see.
But then also sometimes I feel like certain fan bases don't react to certain things on different platforms because I'm not the same person on all platforms. I allow myself to be all the things that I'm interested in on a separate platform. So like I might be interested in fashion on this platform. That's not gonna stop. Like I'm not interested in fashion. I'll be having a scarf and my glasses on when on this platform when I'm talking about conspiracy nut stuff. So I feel like the opportunity in content creating to be so diverse and versatile in all things that you want to do and being your own person is really cool.
Yeah, for sure. I could see that. There's a lot of people who do it that way. They kind of have a different content for each platform. But I mean, I post it everywhere.
It's definitely chaotic though.
Yeah.
But there's some things you can't post everywhere.
Yeah. Maybe not everything.
Yeah.
The only reason why I say that is because if you're posting on 4 or 5 platforms, that gives you 4 or 5 chances to go viral with one piece of content. And not only that, if it goes viral on 2 platforms, now you're getting paid twice
Right.
for the same content. And we've done that definitely. We've been viral many times in different
Maybe
platforms.
look, maybe once we figure out why they don't like me, like I'll start taking it. I'll start having that mindset now because right now it's just kind of like a.
Like when you're getting the content creation, the first like big thing is like getting monetized everywhere.
Right.
That's like it's not easy to do. They make it hard for a reason because they don't want everybody. They're not trying to pay everybody.
Right.
So they're gonna give you challenges and they're gonna put stuff in your way. But once you get that down, that's when it starts making more sense. You'll start looking at it differently.
And I feel like that's my personal challenge because for me, it's just like I genuinely just like doing it until now I'm around a team of people who they're putting it in my face like, oh, Pash, like you have this, like you need to be having this, and they're helping me set all this stuff up because me, I just like to do it because I like it. I just like to put stuff out, So for me, having to try to switch to, okay, well, I need to do it to get monetized, and it's like now it's like I'm being forced to, okay, now I have to do this to achieve this, but I know I need to do it to achieve the mindset of wanting to, like, it's just kind of like a.
Well, some people can get motivated by it, and some people can get discouraged by it.
Right.
So it's just important to not get discouraged because I was talking to Big D, like when you're doing music, you're not gonna really get paid. It's like you're just making nothing. You go from making nothing to getting a deal and making $1 million or 500 bands. When it comes to content creation, you can make money alone the whole way. Right. Eventually, there's deals you can get where you can make that $1 million, but you're still making money every month. So you're able to sustain. If you go hard enough and you get shit right, you're able to sustain your life. Right. Just through content creation. You can't do that with a lot of stuff. So you got to look at it like that, It's a lot of money to make in content creation. So how long you been doing it?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I mean, hold on. Let me think about it. I mean, like, does like musically like Triller count?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I don't know. Since I was a teenager then. Yeah. since it's been able that you can do so.
Yeah.
But I've never been like as serious as I am trying to be now about it because it is so like oh shit, you're right. I am getting millions of views every day on multiple platforms. I should be leveraging this, but it's coming in such a you having to change the mindset so quick. It's like it's overwhelming.
For sure. So I see a lot of your content is real cinematic, like acting.
Yeah.
What got you into that type of content? Because a lot of people don't do that type of content. They do like skits and stuff like that. You're doing something a little different than a lot of people.
Like, what do you mean? Like
you do a lot of acting and stuff like that. Yeah. And you don't always play like you as a character. You switch it up and do things like that.
I don't know, like, because I love to act. Like, and for a while, you know how people say, like, you go chasing the money and you lose the dream. And one day I was feeling like, dang, am I just doing that for now? Like, doing it for that now? But I started to sit back and really look at myself for how I feel when I'm on set and I'm doing these things and I'm so happy. So I just prefer to do things like that where I can show you that I can make you believe, I can gaslight you into believing that I'm somebody else because my talent is I'm so well-rounded. Of course, I can always learn, but like, you know?
Yeah. It's good practice.
Yeah.
Like, so is your goal to get into movies and TV shows? Is that where you would like to go with it? Or
Yeah, but I'm also not a person that's just gonna sit around and wait for somebody to hand it to me because I've already started now. Because for me, it's like, not to toot my own horn, but for me, it's just like, okay, I'm getting millions of views every day. I've literally had so many videos where people are personally attacking me because they think it's real, trying to tell me that I'm not who I'm saying I am, type of thing. And I just feel like it should have been, something. So I've already made 2 of my own short films now. So now it's like, okay, if I'm not going to get that opportunity somewhere right now, even though it can come, cool. I'm not going to sit here and be stagnant. I'm going to go and start and do my own thing because that's what I want to maneuver to anyway. After I've reached my goals in being, lead or supporting character roles in big blockbusters, I want to make my own stuff and make my own blockbuster films, and
Yeah.
put my own self in it.
well, I think that's the advantage that actors have these days is they do it because before, like, they didn't have all that social media. They couldn't practice and put content out.
Right.
Get used to being on the camera. Like, you'd have to wait for somebody major to pick you up. You'd have to be stagnant. But now you can go online and create content and get in other people's stuff, and you can actually learn how to act and get the results too.
And so I actually I've been acting, like I did like theater when I was younger. So I've loved acting. I actually got my feet wet in the industry with modeling by accident. And then I just kind of put a Uno reverse on everybody.
Right. How did that happen?
That's a long story. My cousin basically threw me into it and I didn't want to be in it. And then I was in modeling and TV and film and print school, and then I just started doing photo shoots, and I was just real creative with them. I would do little techno shoots, or I would color coordinate from the stuff and I just love creating. And then I was like, okay, let me use this as leverage because I'm meeting this photographer who knows this director, and just using it as a
Network.
yeah. And so and hopefully acting will. It's a business.
Well, you're in the right
Ultimately,
place.
that's when I want to be a big businesswoman, but I do want to be in some films,
Yeah. I mean, Atlanta's the right place for acting right now.
Right.
There's a lot of opportunities here. I mean, do you ever do auditions or anything like that for stuff?
Yeah, I do. And I usually get them. But I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to staying on top of being consistent.
Yeah. I think that's a lot of people's.
Because I let a lot of things be okay, cool. This one video is now at 7 million, but it was also posted 5 months ago. You feel me? Or okay, cool. This is at 2 million, but it was also posted 3 weeks ago.
So you're saying they're going viral late?
Yeah. You got to consistently keep pushing out because those numbers are going to slow down. Mm-hmm. You feel me? You're gonna be forgettable. Yeah. Some people connect your face, some people all the time, and a lot of my videos, as a video I filmed in January. Yesterday, I still get a comment. This is the girl from this video. Still videos from 4 years ago, but it's everybody's not gonna see it. You got to keep pushing stuff out, and that's my challenge with actually having the discipline to sit down, to plan, to do it.
Yeah, you just got to do it. You got to see how important it is. That's your future. So you got to work at it every day. I think a lot of content creators, even ones who are successful, they'll get a bunch of money. They'll get 50 bands or whatever 1 month, and then next month they don't post nothing because they got the money. They don't need it, and then now their algorithm.
And that's what I don't want to turn into. Because I've seen it affect my YouTube algorithm, even though the videos are still doing good. I've seen it affect the algorithm when I went on a hiatus. After two of them went mega viral, and I went on a hiatus, and I've seen how it affected my algorithm. Other than when I posted videos around that time, so I just gotta really
once you have that wave, you gotta keep going with it.
Yeah, I know.
Because when the views are coming in, as soon as you slow down, now you gotta try to get the wave again.
Yeah,
it's really like that.
I just need some discipline. So I can. That's what I said. I'm my own worst enemy. I can only blame myself because I just need the discipline to really.
Well, I'll tell you how to do it. I'll give you some advice on that.
I feel it's also having a team because me, the team that I've gone viral with the most, they're actually the ones that be okay, let's do this today. Let's, right. Knock out these and
exactly.
Having people that you can having other content people and other people in that circle that you can have accountability with is
right. That's important.
Very important.
But I definitely suggest to shoot a lot of content one day. The way you do it is you set a day aside. That's how me and her used to do it. We would set a day aside and we would shoot 6-7 videos in one day. And we had management who would help us do it. But even if it's just you by yourself, because that way you have a bunch of content to do. Now you're good for the week.
Right.
So instead of trying to shoot every day and try to put out a video that day, you just shoot a bunch of videos in one day and then you go for a week or two or however long. How often do you post?
It's sporadic, like me, like my content, because my content is very sporadic. But it's like, okay, like I may post like two in one day here, and then not post another again for like another 2 days, and then post like one that day, and then post like one the next day, and then not post again for another 3 days. Like,
Yeah, that's understandable.
yeah.
I mean, if you can do every
But
day,
I
that's
know
good.
what time, what I know what days and what times or what days works for me, and I feel like once I miss it, like I gotta,
Yeah, that is a thing. Like, there's certain times and days that you're
like,
able
I
to
know
get
what
ready.
works for me.
I think typically Fridays are pretty good. Like the weekend, people have more time.
For me, Fridays are the worst.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, people are busy on Friday too.
Yeah, and I understand. Like
Yeah.
Fridays, like everybody up to like it's the start of the weekend, so I understand that.
Yeah, that's true. So, what's your best day?
I don't think about free game.
I don't think it's the same for everybody though.
Well, my best day is Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday around like 7 p.m.
That's when
or
I drop.
around like 2 p.m.
Yeah, I always drop around 7, like on YouTube.
Yeah. Cause then I gotta think, like I be thinking, like I got a lot of like people who support me in like LA, like a lot of people. So I be thinking, like, okay, I can't post at like
Too
9
early.
a.m., 10 a.m.
Yeah.
and then everybody's still
7 in the
sleeping
morning.
now. It's not in chronological order, so it's not, I might get drowned out.
That's something to consider for sure.
Right. So yeah, I'm a little tapped out. I know a little something. I know a little something. I just don't know everything. It's coming at me fast, so I'm learning as I go. But I know a little bit. I ask Google sometimes.
Oh yeah, chat.
And then I try to, and then
ChatGPT.
I just trial and error. Yeah, Oh, now Chat GPT. This is back when I was first starting. But
Yeah.
I asked Chat GPT now, like, what's the best? I was thinking like, I can't personalize it for you, but so you just gotta trial and error it.
That is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll post a video and go viral. And whenever that happens, you try to post one at the same time. That's one thing I learned.
And I feel like it was also like God or like the universe or whatever people believe in, because last year around this time, I had an Instagram page that I built for like years, and I like went viral like for my first time ever on that page, and I had like shy of 2,000 of 50K followers, and my traction was great, and I got my page suspended, and I was hurt. Because I was like, I can't believe, like, I built up all of this. Like, I figured out the strategy. Like, I built up all this. Like, I got all these people supporting me. And I feel like it was all, like, taken away, like, my Facebook and everything, too. And, like, I cried. But I was like, okay, like, this is like the test. Like, yo, you really got it? Or you needed that page to be that person? Or you really got it?
Yeah.
And now I'm going more viral than I ever, even though I have less followers because, I just built it back in less than a year. I'm going viral every day, so it's like it's kind of like okay, you told me believe in myself. Like,
Yeah.
I got
It
it.
happened to me too.
Yeah.
I lost the page about 45,000.
Oh my goodness, it was heartbreaking.
Yeah, it sucks. But I'm back to 50 something now, so you just got to keep going.
Yeah.
You're right. You
But
can't let it
around
break
that
you
time, it was like I probably went viral maybe like twice. I'm going viral every day now.
Right.
30,000 less on there. Maybe it was the weed out the bad that was evil eyes.
The
That
people
was
who
tracking them.
weren't really supporting.
Exactly.
Got rid of them.
So
Yeah.
everything happens for a reason,
I feel like that. It's a test.
which is the name of a movie I have dropping soon.
So I'm gonna switch the subject. So I see you married my brother.
Yeah, I did.
How'd y'all meet?
We actually met at the comedy club you're using for your podcast. And he was very mean to me. He was very aggressive to me.
Really?
Yes, he was very mean to me.
Dang.
Yeah, but that made me like him. I was very intrigued by his little mean self because he met his match when he met me. I tell him that all the time. Like, he had his way for a while. Strict around here.
So
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
so you was working here?
No, I wasn't working.
Oh, so you came here to?
I came here for my friends for somebody that I had collabed with. They were having a comedy show here. And I came here to watch the show after I had to leave an album release party. And I just came here because I had time. I came to watch the show. He actually wasn't even supposed to be here. Like, I guess Chris Tucker or whoever was here, they wanted him to come, and he stopped by, and some guy was acting drunk or whatever. So I guess he always talk about he ain't see me, but he never sit over there when people gotta leave out, but he just so happened to sit over there one day, whatever, randomly, because he would never sit over there. But he ain't see me. Anyway, so I'm out there, I'm talking, I'm popping my shit or whatever. And he over there just sitting there watching everybody. Like he couldn't just talk to me because like he thought I was cute. He was over there just staring at me. I'm over there popping my shit or whatever. I'm over there popping my shit, and I guess I was too aggressive for his liking. And he was like, "Hey, like cut all that shit out." And I was like, "Who are you?" And he was like, "This my club," and I'm like, "Okay." And he was like, cut it out." And I was like, "Or what?" And he was like, "I'm gonna bite your head off." And I walked up to him. And I put my hand in his face, and I said, "Do it." And the rest is history.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Match the energy real quick.
Nice.
Yeah. So
how you liking the married life?
it's cool. I be liking to be like, my husband. Every time I go to somewhere, I'll be in the store, be like, yeah, my husband. I don't know. I gotta call my husband, see if he like this. I like it. It's nice. It's nice. It got its little, but it got its perks. And everybody can leave you alone. I mean, like, I'm a nice person, but I'm not a friendly person. And everybody can be like, oh, no, I'm married. We're going to, so, yeah.
So I know it's still fresh. Do you feel like y'all are giving it everything it takes to be married? I know it's a new thing.
No, we're not. But that's also something we got to learn together.
Yeah.
Because we're both, like, we're both very much alike.
What's your sign?
I'm a Virgo.
Okay.
And, we had to leave and come back one time before because, we both are very stubborn people. So I feel like we're working it as we go, but we also both are coming from two different points in our life, and we just got to figure out how to make it work together. But we are not perfect at all. And we are not because we got other stuff going on. We're trying to figure out how to, combine as one because we're still... like one and a half, like the Lion King movie when they like made, like they split it, like a Lion King. But yeah, so we got a lot of work to do. But, that definitely is my best friend. Talk to that person about anything. I just be saying random stuff. I be farting on him.
Oh
I
my
be
God.
farting on his face. I be coughing on him like a toddler. Like, that's really my best friend. So I really be feeling like, we got a lot of work to do, but you definitely just got to find somebody you're willing to do it with.
Right. You got to give it your all.
Yeah.
And don't stop. I mean, it's hard sometimes. Any relationship.
You got to figure out yourself first in the midst of also figuring out how to love someone else. And that's where a lot of people have challenges. Because how can you give somebody your all when you're not 100% yourself?
Right. Well, how do you feel like you are as far as loving yourself?
I love myself. I'm just not 100% myself.
You still learn. You
I'm
still finding yourself.
growing. Yeah,
I
I'm
see
still
what you
growing.
mean.
I'm still finding myself. Like, I'm not going to be the same person that I'm sitting here right now talking to you in 6 months. Like, I'm still, growing each and every day. I feel like it's weird when people don't grow over years. Like, I'm growing and expanding, and I know that the wife that I need to be for the life that I want, I'm not there yet. And I'm self-aware enough to be able to say that, but I'm working toward getting there. But I'm not. You feel me?
Well, you just said some important things. You said that you're not there yet, so you're recognizing that you're not there yet, and then
For sure.
and then you're being real with yourself and saying you got things to do.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't. You're at the level where you can make changes now.
Yeah.
You can't make changes until you do those two things.
Exactly.
Until you realize what's wrong and you give the effort for it. So I feel like just keep doing it, keep going, keep trying.
There's also still a lot of backtracking though, because I am still young. I am still like stubborn. I am still like, all right, well, hold on, because I'm not going to be the big person every time, and you not, I'm still like I'm still very combative. I that the shutting up thing is kind of, because sometimes it just be like, you be right and they don't listen to you. It's just like, oh my goodness. But it's nice having other married friends because they understand and all of us be agreeing. He be agreeing like, oh, women do that? Oh, okay. And I'll be like, oh, okay, all women do that. And it makes it like we're all in a community together. So
Yeah, I mean, when you hear things about relationships, there's a lot of the same things going on in everybody's relationship. And just sometimes it's worse than others for some people.
we have friends that are like marriage counselors, and they've been like, yo, that's like so common. And me and him are thinking it's the end of the world. Like, we're never going to get through this. And they're like, yo, like that's literally like the smallest shit ever. You literally just have to change your communication style. So
It's very important.
but it also comes with both of us relinquishing that pride that we have to, in the moment, do that.
You got to remember this. A real successful relationship or marriage it's like two people coming together as one. You can't be trying. It's y'all against the world.
Right.
It can't be y'all against each other.
Exactly.
I'm not saying that's the case with y'all. I'm just saying in general, like when it's y'all against each other, you're never gonna go far. You're never gonna really excel. But when it's like y'all fighting the world together, that's how you're able to build something, a real solid foundation.
Right. Be us against the problem, not us against each other.
Exactly.
And the problem.
Because that's how you can solve the problems,
Right.
you know. But if it's just y'all against each other, then that is the problem. You're creating new problems. You're not solving problems. You're creating problems.
And we both some pretty little. So we be.
Y'all both what?
We both some pretty little motherfuckers. So pretty little MFers. So we be going at each other, and we both some loud and like Puerto Rican. I'm Haitian. It just. You got the Caribbeans fighting. You got like it just We both be on one. We be on one. We both be on one.
Yeah.
Be ready, pop his little self, but we both be on one. So it's just finding that balance of, because even when he think I'm yelling, I'm not yelling. That's my voice, but it's like you can't tell I'm not yelling or vice versa. It's like we just gotta, without trying to change each other too much, because that's what
Yeah.
You gotta compromise.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of people's issues. A lot of people don't like to compromise. Marriage comes with a lot of compromise.
It does.
But it has to be a two-way street in the compromise.
It has to be. And when you make a commitment to make those compromises, you got to stick to it. In general,
I didn't get up here and lie to God. So we gonna make it work, or until death do us part. So either, hey, figure it out.
Well, I like what you said. Just keep giving the effort. I mean, you can only do what is good. You can only control what you do. It's just you got to meet in the middle, you know. So it's important to just. And I'm gonna talk to him about this too, for sure. But I wanted to bring that up to see where your head was, and I feel like I liked your answers.
Okay, I didn't get enough. I got A+.
Well, you can only get an A+ if I see what you're saying is real.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I see, because you said you want to put your effort into it. I want to see it. I want to see that. You got to show me that.
So I aced the assignment, but not the finals.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
Got you.
But same for him. He can hear me. Same for him. You got to give his effort too. I know how he is, and I know he's an Aries, right? He's an Aries. You're an Aries, right? He's like an Aries and a Taurus, which
the
is
most emotional.
So you got to think about it. An Aries is a ram, and Taurus is a bull. That's pretty crazy. You got two things that rush people. A bull.
I'm just water and a fish, just peacefully flowing. Shit. Got bulls and rams running through my water. just nicely flowing through the night sky.
At the end of the day, like when you're upset and you got stuff to say, it's like sometimes you just gotta value the love for that person over being right or pushing the argument further. You gotta be like, I love. That's how I am with Leia. Like, I'd be like, I really want to keep pushing this, but I love her so much. I don't want. It's not worth it.
I got a sassy ass mouth too. I got a jazzy ass mouth. So sometimes I be telling him, I be like, yo, just chill.
Yeah.
Just chill. Cause I know, but because he Puerto Rican, he be like, and yeah. We funny though. We're very funny.
Sometimes you gotta bite your tongue, and that goes for both sides. You gotta bite your tongue, and that's hard. And you're right. You can't always be the bigger person. That can't be the thing. But sometimes you gotta be.
Because one thing about me, I'm gonna choose violence if I need to. Shut up. No, but that's not the right thing. Right. I need to work on that.
For sure. Well, I'm glad to see y'all working on things and getting that together. So.
Yeah, I don't like yelling. I told him, put it in a song. We never argue when we out of town. So every week I send their ass out of town. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Mm-hmm. I feel like we ain't never argue about nothing. You working, you doing the business. I'm out of town for 2 days somewhere or a staycation or somewhere. Not bothered with the kids, not bothered with you.
Sounds good.
I feel like that's...
So let me ask you this. In a marriage, what do you feel like is a woman's duties?
I feel like I'm partially traditional. I definitely feel like a woman should... Now, it's very different depending on everyone's household.
Right.
Now, in my ideal situation, the man was paying all the bills in the house, whether that's utilities, electric, the phone bills, whatever, whatever. I mean, maybe I could pay for groceries and stuff like that. He pays for those bills. For me, I expect the woman to, well, for me, my ideal situation, in him doing that, I'm taking whatever money there is and I'm going to invest it here. I'm going to do flip real estate. I'm going to handle like these contracts for these movies. I'm going to do this and expand our money. But in that, also, if I don't want to do that, if I want to take a break, I expect to be, cooking, cleaning, make sure the house is good, the kids are good. Of course, I still want you, like, if I cook, clean the dishes, whatever, but you're not going to, you feel me? I want to be able to have that freedom of, if I want to go get 4, 5, 6 degrees, so I could go flip that and make that you are handling that. But that's my ideal situation. Now, in general, yes, I believe women should cook, clean, whatever, be a housewife, whatever, whatever. That's just not ideal to me. I don't want to take care of a whole bunch of kids all day. I want to go expand our empire, but I don't want the stress of how is the mortgage getting paid this month, opposed to trying to negotiate this contract for this building that I know I could turn into an apartment complex.
Right. I mean, it makes sense. I could see that perspective. I mean, I agree. I mean, I think that you're right. I mean, it depends on the situation, If the man's handling all the bills and everything, and then cooking, cleaning, and handling all that stuff, that would be your responsibility.
But I also want to pay someone to do that as well, because I feel like this is not for every woman. Some women want to cook and clean and be housewives, but in my ideal situation, you're paying for convenience. Why would I sit there and take my time and clean the house that may take me 6 hours when I can pay that to someone, put some food on somebody else's plate, and I could go make us hundreds of thousands of dollars, opposed to me wasting that 6 hours. When that 6 hours I could have took a flight and closed the deal and came back home.
Right. I could see that.
That's my ideal situation, though.
I mean, I think that's everybody's ideal situation.
But that's not everybody. Some people want to be moms. Some people want to pop out kids. Some people personally, I don't want to do that. I'm cool with maybe like 2, maybe 3. You feel me? But I personally don't want to do that. Yeah, I do want to bring my kids and stuff, but I definitely want to be, I want to bring my kids to the red carpet. I want to bring my kids to this, this, that, and third. I want to bring my kids to travel the world.
Right.
But I can't do that on a house mom budget that don't make no money and sit at home and cook and clean and watch kids all day. I need to have my own motion going.
Yeah,
I don't want to be worried about the motion going on in the house. So I can expand on our motion for all of us. Because I want to be paying for my husband's vacations on the black card. But I got to make sure home is taken care of first before I'm comfortable going out and making those decisions, knowing that that money could be used other places if it's not handled.
I like that. I can see that for sure. So what do you feel like is the key to having a successful and happy marriage?
I don't know. I've never had one, so I haven't been there yet. And I don't know. Personally, I know a lot of married people. Personally, from my point of view, and this is my opinion, I don't know anyone with a happy, successful marriage. So I don't know what it looks like. I don't know how to get there, but I'm learning along the way.
Okay, that's a good answer. I mean, I think it depends on the couple too, like who you are, what you bring to the table.
Right.
For sure, I like that. So what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So let me ask you this. So what do you feel like your purpose is in life?
I feel like my purpose in life is to educate people, to entertain people, and to do something good in the world and give back to people.
That's a good answer. I mean, I feel like that is everybody's purpose, is to give back in some way. I feel like we all have our way to give back. And that's where I think the passion comes in. You got to figure out what you're passionate at.
Right, and I feel like that's where mine is through. Because I've already kind of figured out the next 50 years of my life. A lot of people don't have that. Like, I'm like, okay, these are 3 avenues I could take. This is how this is going to get here. This is how this is going to get here. This is how this is going to get here. All rooted like that. So, but for me, my top one is through the acting path. And that's kind of a passion that I have. Like, I feel like even with, the content creating, there's a lot of people who are like, okay, like you inspire me. Like, I keep watching your videos. Like, you're so educated. It was like, I feel like this is what I was put here to do, to kind of, without saying too much, break as many people out of the simulation as I can. But I have the distraction to do so.
Right. For sure. A lot of people are stuck in that matrix mentality. So I heard you mention earlier about conspiracies. You talk about conspiracy sometimes. Like, what's the craziest conspiracy that you think about or believe?
I can't say the craziest one, but I will say. Okay, I will say the craziest one. The craziest one that I believe is that we are all one being inside, like a, whether it's a brain or like an eye or something. We are all atoms, and that's why we're so different, because we're all separated from one thing, but we're so all alike in the same way.
I believe that too.
I feel like we all have some type of subconscious of the same being. We're just all kind of like, and it's so much bigger. Like, you ever seen that scene in Men in Black when they open up the locker and it's a small thing, and they open up them and they're a small thing? I really believe that's true.
Or like the dude, they had like a little galaxy that was like in a little thing.
I feel like that's true. Like, that's the biggest one I believe. I feel like that's happening right now. Or like in I don't know if it was Rick and Morty and South Park, but they were like looking at us like we're a reality TV show. I feel like there's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah. Well, I think that we're all a soul. Like our soul is who we really are.
Yeah.
This is our being, and our soul probably all comes from the same like ocean of like some sort of like, and we're all connected in that way. And this actually been proven in some ways with animals, because there's been times where animals will learn something new in a certain country, like rats. They'll study on rats. They'll teach the rats something new, and then rats across the world are now doing what was learned from the rats across the world. They learned it. So obviously there's something, the kind of connection. A lot of people's ideas, like stuff we think of, we don't realize we're probably all connected to something. I mean, it's God. Ultimately, it's God. But I feel like God created like this. It's like it's consciousness. Consciousness is just one huge
So I'm
thing.
glad you brought God up, because there's another conspiracy I believe with God. Now, I'm not saying I don't believe there is a God. I do believe that there's an ultimate being. Now, which one I believe, I'm still learning all of the knowledge for all of them to read between the lines. Anyway, someone had brought something to my attention one day, and they were like, "What if God?" Because I believe that there are other galaxies out there. I believe there are other things out there. I believe like that's just something I believe. Tell me I'm wrong. You're not there. You can't really tell me I'm wrong.
Right.
But I believe there are other things out there, like the Galactic Federation, whatever. And so someone was like, "What if God is not like this person they're trying to, like, what if God is like literally our protector?" Like, that's what people were saying. It was literally like the person that's protecting us from everything else that's happening in the galaxy against the real shit that's going on. So it's protecting our,
So you're
our
saying
area
that
from
there's
like people attacking us, or like this ship flying over here.
so there's different gods for different areas of the
Right.
galaxy.
And I was saying that maybe those are the stories from all the, you feel me?
Right, from him protecting us from stuff that was going on. I think it's possible. It's possible.
So I was like, that's a very, like, and it's something I never thought of. So I was like, that's very.
Yeah, like speaking about, you said there's different gods. I feel like at the end of the day, it's really just one God. I feel like it's just that everybody has their own way of viewing it. Everyone's like, "That's my God." I'm Christian. Like, I'm not Christian, but for people who are like, "I'm Christian," that's my God. I'm like, yeah, but what makes you think that's a different God than the other people? I feel like everybody really worships the same God, and I don't know, like what you said, I don't know how far that God's reach is. I think that He rules the whole universe. Me personally, but that doesn't mean there's other people in there who have power too.
There's multiple universes though.
There could be multiple dimensions, right?
Exactly.
So we've never
does he
really,
guard all of those, or there are different ones for all
and
of
that could
those?
kind of like support that theory. Like, if God created this dimension, he controls this dimension. Is he controlling the other dimension? And can people go from dimension to other? Like, can they interdimensional traveling? So if that is true, if you can interdimensionally travel and go from somewhere else, and then they have a different God over there, like it's like a duplicate of God. If it's a duplicate of Earth, what if it's a duplicate of God?
Exactly.
We don't. That's a good point, and we can't really prove that, because we don't even can't even prove there's other dimensions.
But you know what's crazy? I'm one of those people. I know it's proven. In my heart, I feel it.
Yeah.
And I want to be such a powerful person. To the fact that I'm looking at the archives in the Vatican, to the fact that I'm looking at, I'm not going to say too many places, but I'm looking at certain places that are blocked off to the world, and I'm seeing these things because I know for a fact that they're real. They put it in plain sight. I know in my heart that they're real. I've done enough research. I've seen enough disclosed information, because when I first went to school, like I used to want to be in the FBI a long time ago. So I've seen a lot of, like, I've done a lot of trainings. I've seen a lot of information. I've heard a lot of things that I wasn't supposed to hear, to where I know that there are things out there. I just want to be so powerful that I get to see it with my own eyes.
For sure.
I'm not going to sit there and write a tell all book.
Right.
But I know, but my mind is going to be blown. I just want to know in my heart that it's true.
Yeah. I search for knowledge too, for sure. I always have. So do you believe there's aliens?
I believe that there are First of all, I believe there are parallel universes. So I believe that there's another universe right now where this conversation is happening, but you're sitting over here and she's sitting right there, and it's. But then I also believe that there are. You ever watch Rick and Morty? You ever realize when they went to all the universes, it was like different stuff? I also believe it's stuff like that out there too, as well. And I wouldn't say aliens solely because we're aliens technically to everybody else, but I do believe like going back to Men in Black, the first movie when they were like checking in at the aliens were like checking in. I don't believe everyone I come across every day was born like me. I don't believe that.
You think they're NPCs?
I believe there are some of them NPCs. Some of them are, I'm not gonna say skinwalkers, but some of them are like souls taking over like bodies, like skin suits. I believe that there are like aliens with shaped or whatever. Like I believe there's so many different people.
I think it's possible for sure. Like reptilians.
I've seen it with my own eyes. Yeah, I do believe. Yeah.
I mean, but think about this during reptilians, right? Think about how
crab people.
Like if dinosaurs were real, what makes us think they didn't have one?
I believe the dinosaurs were dragons, though.
See, I kind of think that too, low key.
Yeah.
Or I think that they may not have been, if there even was dinosaurs. I mean, a lot of people don't believe in dinosaurs, and I kind of like think they probably was dinosaurs, but I also think that a lot of the bones they find are actually human bones, like human giants. And what they do, because like if you go to a museum, they'll be like, "Here's a T-Rex," and it's all fake bones, but just like one bone is a real bone. I'm like, okay, but how do I know that came from a T-Rex? Like they're trying to cover up the fact that giants were real. And if you believe in the Bible,
Phlo, I like you.
like they tell us in the Bible that Goliath, there's giants in the Bible. So if you're gonna say you believe in the Bible, I don't know if you do, but for the people who do, I believe in the Bible. If you're gonna say that the Bible is real, then you gotta admit there's giants. I mean,
So what do you feel about like those mountains that look like they have like sleeping giants and stuff on them?
I think it's possible.
I feel like there are still some existence. So I'm a person, I deep dive into things. So I've seen like old maps. I've digged up old maps of like how I say this without. Okay, I would just say this. They are somewhere, but they were here. And I don't know, like, I want to know what the story behind was. Like, what did the ones that are like on the sleep on the top of the mountain, they're like cursed to sleep forever there, whatever. Like, do they wake up? Do they walk? Like, do they,
That's a good question. I mean,
Like, do they still walk the earth?
I think that there was disasters like Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
There's been global disasters that have wiped out everything. And I think that's probably what happened to them. They're probably the ones who built a lot of these pyramids and things.
Exactly.
Because they needed a strength that we don't, like, we think it was technology. It could have been a little technology. I don't think the Egyptians built the pyramids, and people are probably going to be mad at me.
I don't think the Egyptians built the pyramids either.
I don't think so. I think that they were found by the Egyptians.
I honestly believe that the pyramids are bigger, and actually the society that was here before us that learned how to use electricity and all that for free, that shit got buried under, and now we just see the top of it. Because I feel like that shit is like, it's a lot under it.
No, they have you heard about the new studies? There is some new studies that just came out where they did something called LiDAR. LiDAR can look underground, and they can see, and they see that the pyramids are going down like thousands of feet. All these metal poles, like metals, we don't know what it is, going all the way down.
And there's no way that even a giant would be able to dig that far underground. Like, that shit's buried under something.
Yeah.
It's like how they got pyramids in Chicago, but we're not going to talk about that today. We ain't going to talk about that today because
I think that a lot of these cities were found. I really believe that a lot of this stuff that they say they built, like when you go into Europe and you're looking at like these crazy, like the Vatican, like you said, like I never been there, but I've seen pictures. Like this stuff is crazy. Like their architecture is so advanced.
There's no way that they could have done this.
They rode a horse up. To build that. Like what? It sounds stupid. You know what I mean? I feel like they really found it. And this shit's ancient. And they don't want to admit it. And a lot of these cities are like when you go to a city, you always see like the city halls, this old ass building. I feel like it was there.
And I feel like even when people like discover like catacombs and stuff, and they go in like sewers and they see like old stuff, it's like because like they really like wiped out that society. And that's just so crazy because we really don't know how deep this shit go.
So they went in the catacombs to survive some sort of disaster, right? I think so. Have you ever heard of the inner Earth theory?
Explain it to me. Maybe I have, but I didn't know.
So the inner Earth, I don't know if that's the exact name, but I'm sure there's a couple names. But basically, they think that there's a society inside Earth, and that could be where the giants went, or all kind of stuff we've never seen before.
So the theory I had was I've seen old maps, and there are countries outside of the countries that are closed off to us, like past the ocean.
You talking about the ice wall, beyond the ice wall?
Yes, beyond the ice wall too, but there are other yes, there are countries beyond the ice wall that we're supposed to be surrounded by. And so I feel like they live over there.
It's very
But I
possible.
feel like the top 1%, like I feel like the top 1% of people control that, and they're the only ones. But I feel like that's where they live on, because there's been accounts of people that, of course, disappeared now. or
That saw
whatever.
giants.
Yeah,
You saw the dude on the
they
mountain?
looked over the Arctic wall, and it was like green grass, and it was just like shit over
Oh,
there.
yeah.
So it's like they're like, bro, it's not ice over there. And anybody that tries to go over there, and it'd be like people who were like cleared for the military to go over there, and they try to come back and tell a telltale all, and they, you feel me? Or like, but if you try to fly a helicopter over there, anything like you get shot down by the military.
I mean, I think if that's true, I think it's probably
Don't
like
tell
this.
nobody, I promise. Just let me go see it.
Right. I mean, I think that is very possible. And I think that if that's true, they probably put us in here for a reason, because humans are pretty messed up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They do some destructive shit. They probably created the ice wall and said, look, y'all need to stay in there.
Yeah, and I feel like they're escaping us. Like they don't want to see us.
Yeah.
Like even like mermaids and
it's
all
like
that.
a
I feel like
prison.
those are real. Like they don't. Yeah, we're in prison,
I think
and
it's
they
possible.
get all the free stuff out there. Like I feel like they kept Tartaria the outer walls, and then they destroyed everything inside, and they put us around.
So you believe in Tartaria?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. The Tartaria, like when they're finding these old pyramids and these old things, like it was another worldwide society that existed at some
They
time.
have free electric.
Yeah, and a lot of these old churches have the ability. They have things on top of the church, like these certain like things that collects free energy, and they just took them off. Like all these churches
With bells too.
Yeah, the bells,
Bell
the frequencies for healing. Like they want us to use all this pharmaceuticals, but before they were using frequencies to heal. And this is hidden knowledge, because because you don't make money off that. I can just make a bell and I can get healed. So they're not gonna. They want us to pay for everything. So that's what it's really
Exactly.
about. That's why they don't. And the free energy, another thing. How much money they make off gas? The gas industry.
I don't know. But I tell people that all the time, when people be like, people with like AIDS and cancer and all that, I be like, all that stuff is curable. All that stuff. They tell you it's not.
Naturally.
They tell you need treatments. Because I always tell people this, people with cancer. I be like, okay, you got cancer because of, like, you got skin cancer, radiation or whatever. How the hell is chemo radiation going to help something that put the cancer in your body?
Right.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
But if you change your diet and you do the right things, you do like that. I've literally seen cases, because like I used to study in school. I've literally seen cases where
People that beat it.
these herbs heal you. These things they heal you. These flowers they tell you we're not supposed to eat. Their poisons, they heal you. So
Right. Well, like Dr. Sabi. You know who Dr. Sabi is?
yeah,
He was the one who was spreading this knowledge, like
know.
curing AIDS, curing cancers and everything from just simply from diet and alkaline and stuff like
Exactly.
that. How much alkaline your acid levels, and he's dead. They killed him. And like Left Eye, and there's like Nipsey Hussle. I mean, we don't have
I'm just rising,
like because we're just talking. Like we're not actually. We don't really know. We can't prove it. Like these
Yeah.
people, like Nipsey
They actually
Hussle.
did like experiments
Yeah.
on people. Yeah, like,
Yeah, like Nipsey was gonna put out the documentary about Dr.
that.
Sabi, and then he got killed. And then Nick Cannon said that he was gonna do it,
And then he got lupus.
And then he got sick, and also they took his show. They completely took everything. They took everything from under him. So I feel like they don't want the people to know that. But that's just the medical industry. They're powerful pharmaceutical industry.
I mean, I'm still
But-
gonna create a drug though, because I'm a businesswoman at the end of the day.
Just make
But
sure it
morally-
helps people.
Huh?
Make sure it helps people. It's actually.
Definitely.
But no, I mean the whole ice wall
I
thing.
just feel like I can't live in America, but I do want to get out the ice wall. And I feel like America is the easiest country for you to gain that power
To get out.
quickly.
I mean,
Because we have lower class, middle class. It's very easily to climb that
Yeah.
wall to those people.
for sure.
That success rather than any other country.
See, the reason why I kind of like I don't really believe the ice wall thing, but I definitely think it's possible. And I think that the biggest reason why I think it's possible is because every time they show pictures from space and videos from space, they're almost always fake. And it's like, why do you keep sending us fake ass pictures from space?
Yeah.
Like, give me one reason why.
Do you believe we landed on the moon?
Hell no.
Ah, yeah.
You do?
Okay. No, I don't.
Okay, well, here's the biggest question. You went to the moon. You don't have cell phones, but you're able to call from the moon. and be like, hey, we're one step from mankind. I'm like, how the hell did you do that? You know, it's just simple shit.
I
And
just feel
then
like a flag wouldn't fly in space. That don't make any sense to me.
the flag was moving. The flag had a shadow. There's so many things that didn't make sense with the flag. But not only that, we can't go back. We've never been back. Why? So we can do it 1969, but in 2025 we don't go back.
And I feel like they've made so many jokes on like shows and movies and stuff about it being like, you know, the set from like Apollo 13 or whatever. I'll just be like, they really just throw it in our face.
It was fake.
Why can't we throw back even? And I also believe in the theory of as above, so below. So because NASA wasn't always a space agency, NASA used to explore the water, and then they saw some shit they wasn't supposed to see. And then they're like, oh, we're a space agency. There's stars and stuff because there's nothing. But I believe that the entrance to space is through the ocean. I believe all the things we've never explored in the ocean are really the aliens or the other worlds and all of that.
So you think that it's water above us? The sky's water?
Even though I don't fully believe in everything in the Bible, I do believe that we are. I believe the teachings of the Bible were accurate in the firmament.
Yeah.
I believe that. I do. And also, even with astronauts, they don't train in gravity chambers and stuff. They train in the
underwater.
Ocean. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
right.
and it's just like, it's funny how you now explore space, but you were just exploring, you were in aquatics. So I always say now NASA it stands for not a space agency.
Yeah.
How do you go from exploring water to you got so scared about whatever's up there? Now you're sitting there trying to paint a whole picture to people that it's something else. Now we got planets and we got all of this. When you didn't even explore none of that, but now you're the expert on this. It don't make sense to me.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. I've heard a lot. Like they say when you go into the ocean, that's how you leave, and not into space. It's possible.
Yeah, I seen a video of a guy like they had discovered they were in a lake and they had discovered a part of the lake that wasn't like that you couldn't touch, like that wasn't like it didn't have any buoyancy.
Yeah.
And that guy,
I saw that.
his helicopter ended up crashing and he ended up dying.
Oh, really?
Yes. So it was like he had found like one of the
spots where
Yeah.
it was almost like he was going to go out of the water, but he was in the water on the bottom. And it almost seemed like he was about to leave into somewhere. And
I feel like that's what the Bermuda Triangle used to be back in the day. Like they found the portal to the other world. They're not actually dead. They just found the portal.
Yeah, I think that's very possible. That's why they're gone. Because a lot of planes. And you know what? We never hear about it no more. They must have fixed it. They must have closed it. Because we never hear about it.
There's like a coordinate. I think I sent it to D one time. It's a coordinate that if you look at it, it's like a middle of a desert and it looks like it's a portal open. It's weird. It looks like it's a portal open. And like if you type in the coordinates on Google Maps and it's like a whole bunch of like tanks surrounding it.
Yeah, I've seen
and a whole
that
bunch
before.
of it's just like you can't tell me that they don't know. Like you can't tell me this shit is not going on around us right now. You can't tell me that.
So you don't think that no aliens are coming from space? That they're coming from in the water? Or other beings other than humans?
I feel like I don't know how to explain it. I feel like space is in the water. Like I feel like you have water for so long, and I feel like that's why it gets so dark. Because now you go out of water and go back to dry. Like I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, like you go back out of water, you go back to dry, and then it's that.
And there might only be certain places where you could do that.
Like I'm not an Earth is flatter, but I'm not an Earth is rounder either. I feel like the Earth is like a donut.
I've seen that. I've seen a picture of that before.
Yeah, I feel like the Earth is like a donut. Call me crazy, but I feel like the Earth is like a donut. It's like it can't be flat because waterfalls go down, but it's just like it can't. I don't understand if it's like going like this, how a waterfall could, like I don't know, it just don't make sense to me.
Yeah, I'm confused about that too. A lot of people think the Earth's flat, and a lot of people who believe in the ice wall think it's a flat Earth.
No, I don't believe it's flat, but I don't believe it's round either.
So you think it's a planet? It's in space, or where does it exist? That's the real question.
But what's crazy is I don't know where the fuck we could be sitting in somebody's fish tank right now.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy part of not knowing. And that's also what I believe religion is. People who are like deep religious. Like I was raised a Baptist Christian. So like at the end of the day, if somebody asks me, I'd be like, oh, I'm Christian, I'm spiritual, like dependent, but I still pray to like the Lord, to Jesus. Like I still have my Bible. So, but for me, it's just like, I feel like religion is something that was created so people can feel safe. Because you never really know what the hell is going on out there.
Right.
Because we instantly, regardless, the thought of it is scary. Because if we are in space, we're a fucking ball floating in space with no gravity connected to it. Anything could happen. Anything could hit us. But we also could be hanging on somebody's keychain right now.
Right. We
And it's
could.
so crazy to think that that's why you have to believe, okay, there's a God that's protecting me while all that, because what if I am sitting on somebody's coffee table right now as a decoration? You don't. A lot of people don't know how to take that.
Right. It would definitely change a lot of things about the world. People would be hard to control. If they thought it was something like that, they would start robbing, going crazy,
Exactly.
not losing morale.
Because he doesn't understand why I do a lot of things that I do. But I played Sims a lot when I was a kid. I was addicted to The Sims. And I love the free will. And sometimes I just do things like I sit and remember, like, I really don't have to do this. I have free will. Because I do. It's like, yeah, like, I feel like you said, like, it's a simulation, like somebody's, but I was like, I just have free will, so I'll go and do something. You'd be like, well, why'd you do this? I'd be like, nobody told me I couldn't do that. I mean, they told a whole group of people they couldn't do that, and they just listened. Nobody told me I couldn't go sit here and walk West End at 3 a.m. just because I want to go explore. Nobody told me I couldn't do that.
So you're controlling yourself. I mean, it's a possibility.
Yeah, like
it's a
sometimes I
simulation.
break out and I start controlling myself. Then I get punished.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that what you think?
Yeah.
You think that someone else is in control of you on the outside? Is it you?
Maybe it's psychosis. I don't know. Schizophrenia.
It could be. I mean, I think it's your soul. It's your soul. That's what I believe.
That's what I believe. But everybody's not going to see it like that.
Yeah.
I personally, because I have another thought, but I'm not going to share it because it's kind of wild. No. Okay, so you know serial killers?
Uh-oh, she's a serial killer.
No, I believe that some, not all, but I believe some serial killers, they went into such a psychotic episode because they escaped. And they're trying to take as many people out so they can, like, pull back into, like, what if we're all sitting in a VR headset game right now? And we gotta wait till we die to take it off.
So you're like, it's like the Matrix where they unplugging people, like how they went and unplugged.
Yeah, like, you know, what if it's, you know, like you don't know. But I feel like
So you're
everyone
gonna
who's here
be a
right
serial
now,
killer?
huh?
You ready to be a serial killer? Then you're saying?
No, I'm cool on that because I want to go to jail. I don't want to go to jail because everybody brainwashed. Everybody brainwashed. They gonna take me to jail. Because if we really wanted to go sit here and kill somebody today, we could. But certain things are put into place that everybody has to follow for the good.
Right.
But you know, yeah.
So let me ask you this: so what was the hardest struggle that you went through in your life?
What do you mean, like career-wise, or
Just the hardest thing you had to go through, whatever. What could have been career, could have been just personal.
let me see. What was the hardest thing ever? I would say losing my dad. That was pretty hard.
Wow.
And
How long ago was that?
I was 11.
Dang. Did you all have a close relationship?
Yeah, that's my dude. That's my twin.
What happened? Why did he die?
He died.
Like from what?
Death.
Was he sick or?
Yeah, he was real sick.
Dang.
But I think that's the hardest thing. I think, especially growing up with emotionally immature parents. And I grew up with young parents. So my parents had me when they were 19 and 21. So growing up with emotionally immature parents and just people like, you know, just not being from a environment that's very, you know, classy, or they don't really have a lot of money, or just coming from, it was a very, yeah.
Well,
It was a lot of elevation and growth and character to the person that I am now, bringing a lot of things, bringing a lot of generational curses and doing a lot of things differently.
right. I mean, it seems like it worked out well. I mean, some people can be broken down from that, you know?
It definitely takes a strong person. And I always tell people, like, I've been through a lot of things in my life. And I feel like anything that I go through now, I feel like I've already went through the shit that broke my heart and took my soul. So I feel like anything I go through now, I'm always going to back. Like, I've had so many different lives now. I've restarted so many times. I've had so many things happen to me now that even if something happens, it's like, shit, I'm going through this right now. But it will never bring me to as low of a point because I know what hurt me the most.
Right.
So it's like I'm always going to bounce back from whatever I'm going through. And that's like I always know that in the back of my mind. That's why I'd be like, he'd be like, bro, like, we got to do this right now. We're stressing right now. And I just be do. Because, like, I know I'm going to be good. Like, I know I'm one of God's favorites. I know I'm one of God's. There's so many times that I wanted to quit this shit. There's so many times that I wanted to walk away from this shit and go back to school and get my law degree or whatever that I want to. I'm still going to do. But there's so many times I just want to be like, F this shit. Like, I'm not going to another audition. I'm not doing another movie. I'm not going to another. Like, I'm not doing this. Until one, I see how many people look up to me. And two, every time I'll be like, fuck it. Like, I'm not doing this. Like, when the actor strike happened. Stuff happened before that where I made it become go. When the actor strike happened, I was like, F it. Like, the actor strike probably happened for, it was going on for like 6-7 months. I was like, bro, fuck this shit, bro. Like, I can't live like this. I can't keep doing this. And I was like, yo, like, if this shit not over by next month, like, I gotta make some shit shake. The very next week it was over. I was like, God damn it.
That screwed up movies for years, yo. Like,
And then it was
trash
a lot of
movies.
other stuff. It just happening like that. Like, a lot of things were happening like that. I'd be like, yo, like, I'm not doing it. Like, I'd be like, bro, I don't got this. Like, I'm not doing it. It'll happen. I don't know. I feel like I got this. So obviously I'm supposed to do this. And I got to stop fighting myself on the timeline of it and just do it.
Right.
And know what's going to come.
Yeah. It
But I gotta
never
put the
happens on our
groundwork.
time.
And my thing is, I don't know which groundwork is the right work. So
It never happens on our time that we expect.
tired of it. Tired of it. Tired of it. I want to still look cute.
So let me ask you this. If you could speak to the youth and tell them something that could have helped you growing up, what would you tell them?
Stick to your sports. If you play sports, stick to your academics. If you're very intelligent, stick to your arts. If you're very creative, and ride the full path. Friends aren't that important in high school and middle school. Well, maybe a little bit in high school. But just stick to your path and don't really worry about the trend at that moment or what's to be this at that moment. Because a lot of people peak in high school. And you don't want to be the peaker in high school because you're so pressed about, this, that, and the third. Like, really stick to your talents because your talents will take you a long way. Stick to what you're really good at and really expand upon that. If you're good at multiple things, if you're good at sports, athletics, and the arts, then I would just say keep yourself busy doing things that are going to elevate you, elevate your mind, elevate your peace, and elevate you in life. But also build those genuine connections that do that as well. But keep your eye on the prize first. The people will come.
Very good. I like that. So what do you see yourself doing outside of acting and content creation? Professionally?
I want to run a creative consulting company, and I also want to have a creative studio. Just somewhere where it's like, if people like doing pottery, because that's what calms them, and they don't have the equipment to do pottery and the clay and stuff, they can come in there and they can just sit there, but also films and stuff in there. I also want to open a school, like a Montessori.
Nice.
So I want to do that. I want to do a lot of passion projects around the world. Like, I really just want to build up my networking enough that I have enough money, passive and residual income coming in that I'm just traveling the world doing stuff.
Right.
You know,
Enjoying life.
just you're not even just on vacation. Like, I'm over here, somewhere building schools, or I'm over here like loading stuff, or we're building, just but off the radar. Just because I have so much of the income coming in, I could just jet off and go take the PJ with fucking 50 bulk cases of water over to this place that doesn't have it, or bring some contractors over there like Akon did, like make some type of off the radar shit, just because I have this income coming in, because I've built enough where I can take the time off to do that.
Right. That's good. Helping the world, really. The schools. What kind of school? Like what grade level would you want to do that?
Whatever they need, just them niggas in bricks and mud. Like, we gonna get a building this, you gonna get some AC in this motherfucker, we gonna get the power lines, we gonna dig into something, we gonna get you right. Because I've realized that, I've went from a place where, we didn't have heat or hot water, the AC was broken, to now I won't even look. It don't matter if I'm about to be homeless. I won't even look at a house that has certain cabinets or certain things or in certain areas. And I feel like that's a very blessed luxury to have. And I feel like if I have the power to allow someone else that luxury and get the best that they can get, why not? I'm not using the government's money. I'm not using the government's money. I'm not trying to,
Right. It's profitable too.
And that's the thing, because we're such a communist society. I know I'm gonna have to make certain deals with the government. I'm gonna have to, break off this person. I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to do that. But it's okay as long as the kids not walking around with fleas biting them with no shoes on, and they can go at AC and learn from actual teachers. Whether I got to pay some teachers from wherever to come out there and actually teach these students so they can have the chance that kids in Tokyo have when they're learning all this advanced stuff and they can go anywhere in the world and get any job in fucking architecture and engineering while these people are they have no type of, they don't have a chance to compete in the world.
Right. Very true. And they're not teaching the right stuff in these schools.
Exactly.
Stuff that really helps you in life. They're not going to teach you how to
Not in public
finances. You're not in public schools.
And I've done seminars at other schools where you pay $13,000-$15,000 a month, a year for your kid, and the teaching and the ethics are so different. And that's what I want to do in my school, those type of teachings, but kind of scout children from other underprivileged neighborhoods, especially in sports. The ballers be in the hood. Go to these different hoods. You're coming to my school. We're going to teach you this. We're going to make sure your family gets out of this situation. We're going to pay for you to get through college, and just breed a whole bunch of stars that would have this opportunity to get this far or have this ethic or have these teachings and understandings and just be out there green as fuck when they get into that world had they made it out the hood. Just...
You're definitely right.
And it's not even like a savior complex or nothing. It's just like, because I know so many kids that I grew up with that had that shit and could have went all the way and ended up in a way worse situation.
Right.
And it's just like, if I have the power to save them and make it better, why not?
And that's one of the reasons why I do this podcast. From my how I can impact.
Right.
Is just give them that knowledge. Bringing people on who have the knowledge and they give it to the world. And some people going to hear it. It might change their perspective a little bit. So, but I like that. I definitely like that plan. It's a good plan. So, what you got coming up next?
What do I have coming up next as far as
content creation, any acting, movies, or anything?
I have a TV show coming up soon, but I honestly want to film my own. Like, I have somebody else's. I'm not saying that I don't want to, because I love being in other people's films. I want to make, I feel like it's time for me to make my own stuff. Have my own storylines, have my own, I just feel like it's time to make my own stuff and put me in it.
Yeah.
Especially with the way the industry is now, it's kind of like somebody to know somebody. It's just like, okay, I'm just about to make my own stuff and just shoot that out.
I think that's a new wave right now.
Yeah.
Independent.
Everybody's independent, yeah.
Okay, so where can they find you at?
You guys can find me at Pash the Siren, PashDasiren, the number 1. At Pash Perry on YouTube, PashPerry. And Pash the Siren on TikTok, and at Pash Perry on Facebook. And yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming.
Thanks for having me, LetItPhlo. This is a very interesting conversation.
Very deep, a lot of conspiracy stuff. Definitely a lot of perspectives. Having an open mind is important, I feel like. Just looking between the lines. A lot of people they believe everything they see in the news, everything they're told. They're not asking enough questions.
And for me, it's like, that's okay. But don't disrespect me not believing your belief, because I'm not going to disrespect you for your belief, because you have your reasons for your belief.
Right.
And I respect that. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong.
Yeah.
But don't disrespect me and tell me I'm wrong for mine because I have another belief system.
And that's why I always tell people, like, that's possible. Because I think that it's a possibility. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong,
Right.
because that's arrogant. You know what I'm saying? Even the scientists, they try to tell you they right, and then next year they prove that they're wrong. Like, there's a new discovery, like, oh, nope, you're wrong. It's like, you were going around telling everybody who was right. So that's why I only really fully believe in science. I feel like you're explaining it to the best of your ability at this moment, but it doesn't mean you're right. And that's just in life in general. But anyway, I appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye, guys.
Okay. It's time to let it flow. It's time to let it flow.